Saw is a cinematic masterpiece that redefined the horror genre. Its intricate plot, punctuated by shocking twists and psychological torment, elevated it far beyond mere gore. The film's genius lies in its ability to explore the depths of human desperation and the blurred lines between life and death. With its iconic villain, Jigsaw, and a narrative that keeps audiences guessing until the final frame, Saw is a testament to masterful storytelling and has cemented its status as a timeless horror classic. In this video, prepare to have your mind blown with shocking revelations as we delve into the twisted world of Saw. This video is packed with mind-boggling trivia that will change the way you see this iconic horror franchise. From hidden clues to behind-the-scenes secrets, we'll uncover the darkest corners of Saw's story and making. So, buckle up and get ready for a thrilling ride through the most shocking facts about Saw. But before we begin, a quick reminder that this video will contain major spoilers, so be prepared for what's coming. In order to make the actors feel what the characters were going through, all of the bathroom scenes were shot in chronological order. This decision was a deliberate choice by director James Wan, which was intended to help the actors, particularly Cary Elwes and Lee Wan-el, immerse themselves more deeply into their characters' experiences and emotions as the story unfolded. By filming in sequence, the actors could naturally build on the psychological and physical toll their characters were enduring. This method is somewhat unconventional in filmmaking, as scenes are often shot out of order for logistical reasons. However, in this case, it added a layer of authenticity to the performances, making the characters' descent into desperation and fear more palpable for the audience. Additionally, this technique allowed the actors to develop a more genuine rapport and dynamic, reflecting the evolving relationship between their characters Dr. Lawrence Gordon and Adam Stanheidt, as they navigated the horrific situation they were trapped in. The opening scene of the movie, which featured Adam in the bathtub with a blue light floating over him, was the very first shot filmed on the first day of production. This scene set the tone for the entire movie, establishing the eerie and unsettling atmosphere that would permeate the film. And Detective Singh pursuing the Jigsaw killer was the last sequence that was filmed. Director James Wan wanted the camera movements to reflect the two main characters' emotions and personality. For Dr. Lawrence Gordon, Wan used steady, controlled shots. This choice reflects Dr. Gordon's calm, methodical, and analytical nature. The stable camera work mirrors his attempts to maintain composure and rationality despite the dire circumstances he finds himself in. In contrast, for Adam Stanheidt, portrayed by Lee Wan-el, Wan opted for handheld shots. This technique gives a more chaotic and unstable feel, capturing Adam's panic, confusion, and emotional volatility. The shaky camera movements help the audience feel Adam's anxiety and fear, making his experience more visceral and immediate. The movie was shot in only 18 days. This tight shooting schedule was due to the film's limited budget, which required the production team to work efficiently and creatively. Despite the constraints, the film's unique and intense atmosphere was successfully captured, contributing to its lasting impact in the horror genre. Danny Glover, who played Detective David Tapp, completed all of his scenes in only 2 days, and his involvement brought a level of gravitas to the film, helping to elevate its status and appeal to a broader audience. In the opening scene, Lee Wan-el performed his own underwater stunt in the bathtub. To achieve the shot, Wan-el had to stay submerged while a crew member stood on his chest to keep him in place. This practical approach was necessary due to the film's low budget, which didn't allow for a stunt double or elaborate special effects. Director James Wan and writer Lee Wan-el drew heavily from their own childhood nightmares to create some of the most terrifying scenes in Saw. This personal connection to the material added an extra layer of authenticity and horror to the film. By incorporating their own fears and nightmares, Wan and Wan-el were able to tap into primal, universally unsettling themes that resonate deeply with audiences. This approach helped to create a sense of genuine dread and unease throughout the movie. For example, the iconic scene where Dr. Gordon and Adam wake up chained in a grimy bathroom was inspired by a recurring nightmare that Wan-el had as a child. Wan decided to forego an upfront salary for Saw and instead opted for a percentage of the film's profits, which was a significant gamble, especially considering it was his first major feature film. This choice reflected his confidence in the project and his belief in its potential success. At the time, Saw was a low-budget independent film with a budget of around $1.2 million. By choosing to take a percentage of the profits, Wan aligned his financial success directly with the film's performance. This move paid off handsomely, as Saw became a massive hit, grossing over $100 million worldwide. The film's success not only validated Wan's gamble, but also launched his career, leading to numerous other successful projects in the horror genre and beyond. In a 2017 interview with Den of Geek, Tobin Bell revealed that one of the main attractions for him to join the cast of Saw was the opportunity to work with Danny Glover. Bell, who plays the iconic Jigsaw, was drawn to the project not only because of its unique and intense storyline, but also because he admired Glover's work and was eager to collaborate with him. Saw 2 was greenlit for production the same weekend that the first Saw film opened in theaters. The overwhelming success of Saw at the box office, combined with its positive reception from horror fans, prompted the producers to quickly move forward with a sequel. The first Saw film was a surprise hit, and its immediate success demonstrated a strong demand for more stories within the Saw universe. As a result, the producers wasted no time in capitalizing on this momentum, ensuring that Saw 2 would be ready for release the following year. The rapid approval and production of Saw 2 also meant that the filmmakers had to work efficiently to meet the tight deadlines. Darren Lynn Bousman, who directed Saw 2, had previously written a script called The Desperate, which was adapted to fit into the Saw franchise with some modifications. This allowed the production to move forward quickly and maintain the high level of intensity and creativity that fans had come to expect from the series. After finishing film school, James Wan and Lee Wan-el were eager to make a film but faced significant budget constraints. They could only afford to shoot in a single room, which led them to challenge themselves creatively. The product was this film, which went on to become one of the most profitable and successful horror movies of all time. Tobin Bell committed to his role by lying face down for all the scenes set in the bathroom, without the use of a dummy. The only dummy used was for the burned corpse of Mark, who was burned in his trap. All other corpses seen throughout the film were portrayed by actors. Director James Wan and Lee Wan-el's journey to bring Saw to life began with writing the script and submitting it to their manager, who then forwarded it to an agent in Los Angeles. The agent was intrigued and invited them for a meeting, during which they were encouraged to create a short film based on a scene from the script. They chose to film the intense reverse bear trap scene, with Lee Wan-el himself in the trap instead of Shawnee Smith. This short film effectively showcased their vision and storytelling abilities. After completing the short, they submitted it to numerous studios, ultimately catching the attention of Lionsgate Films. Impressed by their work, Lionsgate decided to hire them, leading to the production of the full-length feature film that would become a cornerstone of modern horror cinema. And this film was James Wan's feature debut. James Wan personally built the iconic Jigsaw doll known as Billy for the film completely from scratch. This creation became one of the most recognizable and chilling elements of the franchise. Wan's hands-on approach to creating Billy highlights his dedication and resourcefulness, especially given the film's limited budget. Wan's involvement in building the doll himself underscores the collaborative and creative spirit behind the film. It also demonstrates how practical effects and personal touches can significantly contribute to a movie's impact and legacy. Saw was originally intended for a straight-to-video release due to its low budget and the initial expectations of its commercial potential. However, after the film was screened at the 2004 Sundance Film Festival, it received an overwhelmingly positive response from the audience. This enthusiastic reception caught the attention of Lionsgate, which decided to pick up the distribution rights for the film and opted to release it in theaters instead of going straight to video. This decision proved to be a wise one, as the success of this movie in theaters paved the way for a highly profitable franchise, including numerous sequels, video games, and even theme park attractions. During the production of Saw, James Wan and Lee Wan-el had to return for several reshoots, but the original actors were unavailable. To overcome this, Wan stepped in to play the parts himself, while Wan used close-up shots to avoid showing the characters' faces. Wan portrayed Detective Singh, originally played by Ken Leung, entering the building with a shotgun, and also the body of Singh falling after being shot. Additionally, the close-up shots of Amanda's hands in her trap were actually Wan's hands, and he even wore a wig to make his shadow on the wall resemble Shawnee's. The identity of the Jigsaw killer is subtly hinted at early in the film during a flashback scene in the hospital, when Zepp Hindle says,
"His name is John. Dr. Gordon. He's a very interesting person."
Viewers can spot a diagram of the reverse bear trap on John Kramer's bedside table. This seemingly minor detail is a clever foreshadowing by the filmmakers, as the reverse bear trap becomes one of Jigsaw's most infamous traps later in the series. Saw was produced on a very tight budget, which significantly influenced many aspects of its production, including the decision to forego exterior shots. The production team simply couldn't afford the costs associated with filming outside locations, such as securing permits, managing logistics, and potentially dealing with unpredictable weather conditions. Instead, they focused all their resources on creating detailed and atmospheric interior sets, like the iconic bathroom where much of the film's action takes place. The car chase, for example, was filmed in the garage of the warehouse by turning off the lights, adding some fog, and shaking the cars while filming from the front. This allowed the team to control the environment completely and avoid the high costs associated with on-location shoots. To create the illusion of a high-speed chase, the filmmakers turned off the lights in the garage to create a dark, enclosed space. They then added fog to the scene, which helped to obscure the background and give the impression of movement and speed. The cars were shaken manually while being filmed from the front. This simple yet effective technique made it appear as though the cars were in motion, even though they were stationary. By filming from the front, the filmmakers could focus on the actors' expressions and the immediate action, further enhancing the sense of urgency and danger. In post-production, the scene was enhanced with sound effects of engines revving and tires screeching, as well as quick cuts and dynamic editing. These elements combined to create a convincing and thrilling car chase sequence without the need for expensive stunts or special effects. Lee Wan and James Wan confirmed that during the scene where Adam smashes Zepp with a toilet lid, Adam was actually hitting a garbage bag filled with fake blood. Director James Wan had a crush on actress Shawnee Smith since his teenage years. When casting director Amy Lippens asked Wan who he envisioned for the role of Amanda, Wan suggested Shawnee Smith on a whim, not expecting that they would actually be able to secure her for the film. But to Wan's surprise and delight, Lippens managed to secure Shawnee Smith for the role. Initially, Smith declined the role. However, when the offer was extended to her a second time, she decided to watch the original short film created by Lee Wan and James Wan. The short film, which served as a proof of concept for the feature-length movie, impressed Smith with its unique and gripping premise. Captivated by the intense and innovative storytelling, she reconsidered and ultimately accepted the role. This was a significant win for the production, as Smith's involvement brought a level of recognition and credibility to the project, and her portrayal of Amanda became iconic within the horror genre, contributing significantly to the film's success and the enduring legacy of the Saw franchise. The harrowing scene where Dr. Gordon begins to saw off his foot is intensified by the background sounds of Adam screaming and crying. Interestingly, the audio of Adam's distress in this moment is the same as that used during the film's final climax. The filmmakers cleverly edited and re-looped this audio to enhance the emotional impact and continuity of the scenes. In the original script for Saw, the scene where Dr. Gordon turns off the lights and whispers to Adam was envisioned quite differently. Initially, the characters were supposed to cut open opposite ends of a long pipe with their hacksaws and communicate through it. This sequence was even filmed, but it was ultimately cut from the final version of the movie. Director James Wan decided to remove it because it didn't make logical sense for the characters to be able to cut through a pipe if they couldn't cut through their chains. This change not only maintained the film's internal logic, but also streamlined the narrative, keeping the focus on the tension and desperation of the character's situation. And this concludes our first part of Saw Deep Dives. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and click on the notification bell to receive our newest updates for more interesting and mind-blowing fun facts about your favorite movies. And stay tuned for our second part of this series where we will uncover even more mind-bending details you've missed about Saw and behind-the-scenes secrets. Until the next video, stay sharp and peace out.